cast our eyes. Come dawn, we rise. This may be the last.
What's up, Batyard? It's Conor here again. I'm at the Albany Comic-Con and Toy Show, and here I am talking to Joe Orsak. How you doing today, Joe?
Very good. Enjoying the show very much.
All right, glad to hear it. So we're here looking at your table. You got a bunch of lovely prints here. Can you tell people what you do, where you operate from?
Okay, well, I am from Syracuse, New York, and I have been in business for myself for almost 40 years. I've been drawing professionally for over 50, and I do comic books, comic strips, graphic novels. I sell on artwork online. I do pinups on eBay, and I'm also working as an illustrator for the new company Ahoy Comics, based out of Syracuse, and I do spot illustrations for some books like The Wrong Earth and Planet of the Nerds.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So you said Ahoy Comic Books, they're local flavor. You said they were based out of Syracuse? That's very interesting. What kind of stuff do you do with them? Is it a lot of sci-fi, superhero sort of thing, fantasy?
All kinds of things. The editor at Ahoy is Tom Peyer, who used to work for DC Comics, and he also used to work with me. I did a comic strip in Syracuse called The Adventures of Captain Cuse, and Tom Peyer spent a couple of years as my writer, and he moved from there on to working for DC. So, we go way back.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you say you've been doing this for about 40 years? 40 years, what you said? So you've probably done a lot of cons like this, conventions like that. What's your favorite part about coming to these conventions and showcasing your art and selling your brand?
Well, I work at home alone, so during the week I don't really do a lot of interacting with people. So my favorite part of doing the conventions is talking to people, meeting new people, seeing old friends. I see a lot of the same artists and creative people at various shows, and so I get a chance to, like today, there are a lot of my friends who are here. And also I see a lot of people that come back, people that are regular convention attendees. So they come and they buy my work, and they'll come back the next year and buy some more and things like that. So it's nice.
Nice to have friends in the community. I dig that. Well, thank you so much for your time, Joe. Can you just give us a quick shout out about your social media, where people can find you online?
Okay, well, you can find me on Facebook. They also can find me at my website, www.jorsak.com.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Joe. It's been a pleasure talking to you. This is Batyard. See you at the next one. Welcome back to Batyard. I'm Conor, and I'm here with the Ann Robison. You might know from War of the Worlds. Miss Robinson, how are you today?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
It's a lovely date. I enjoy being here so very much. I'm very flattered, and they're very kind to have invited me.
Oh, absolutely, and we're all so happy to see you here. Now, again, as I said, we know you from War of the Worlds, other sci-fi classics like The Naked Monster, things like that. So I wanted to start by asking you, do you consider yourself a fan of your genre work? Do you like monster movies, horror movies, that sort of thing?
Yes, I do. I do very much. Always have. As a little girl, I loved monster movies, scary movies. Always did.
Very nice, very cool. And I know I'm a big fan.
I'm a time traveler. I love time travel.
A time traveler.
It's one of my favorites.
That's a good one, too. I'm a big Who fan myself. That's my favorite time travel go-to. So I know you personally from 1953's War of the Worlds and your cameo appearance in the 2005 remake with Tom Cruise. So can you tell me what the difference between working those two movies were? Like, there's a big technology difference between the two movies. And, you certainly a different role for both. What was the highs and lows of working on both movies?
Oh, gosh. Well, everybody adores George Pell's War of the Worlds, and I wish they wouldn't compare Steven Spielberg's with George Pell's. It's closer to the book. And I liked his adaptation very, very much. And of course, it's his favorite movie. War of the Worlds was absolutely his favorite movie, he and Tom Cruise. So they collaborated and put it together on their own. So they loved doing it, and I loved being in it. I got to do a cameo. Of course, Steven Spielberg fell in love with Sylvia when he was a young man. So I got, he had to have me there for a cameo. I was grandmama, as Dakota Fanning, they're trying to get her to grandmother's house, and I was grandmother, and Gene Barry was grandfather. So no, it was a big honor for me to be I've never been a cameo before, and that was quite exciting. And we were a secret. We couldn't tell anybody that we were in the movie. Everybody kept asking. They said, "Oh no, you've got to be in it somewhere." It's a very interesting adaptation because, as I said, it's closer to the book. It's a much darker movie. It's not a happy. It's much scarier. I mean, these people, they've got tripods sucking out the blood of people that they've taken up, and it's horrible.
Fairly graphic.
It's really graphic, and that's why I like it. Because George Pell, he's a sort of technicolor and hopeful. There's possibility that we'll have a happy ending. They always liked Gene Barry. They always liked Sylvie and Forrester.
Sure.
They always compare us. They think we're having a romance, and we're not. He's just stuck with me.
Yeah.
He's bloody well stuck with me. Oh no! I always tell people, please don't compare it. Oh, forget the title of Spielberg's movie. Just watch it as a good war movie.
There you go.
Because they're both war movies. That's the title.
That's a very interesting insight, and it does speak a lot to the way the movies have shifted in terms of tone. You see a lot more dark, gritty adaptations of things these days.
Well, I think it's one of the best movies Tom Cruise has ever done because he's not a hero. He's an average man scared to death, inept. He doesn't know how to take care of children because he's never taken care of his children, and now he's stuck with them. And what am I going to do? Someone's going to kill us. I don't want my children to die. And this poor guy is just trying to make his way to grandmother's house, it sounds like.
That is a very interesting take, because I am so used to seeing Tom Cruise as like the Ethan Hunt character.
Well, the movie begins where he's high up, he's in control of all these, he's at the brake yards or wherever he is. So he's in control. He's 80 or 90 feet up in the air. He's in control of everything. Now, suddenly, he's on the ground, and they're 80 or 90 feet up in the air, and he's no longer in control. And he doesn't know what to do. He's incapable. I mean, he was playing baseball with his son a little while ago, and now he's trying to save his life.
It's a great tension builder, yeah, because you do feel you feel yourself in those shoes there. Like, what would I do? I certainly don't know. All right, just to wrap up, you say you do a lot of these cons.
Yes, I do.
Do you have a favorite con experience or a favorite reoccurring con experience that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, Chiller Theater, and I love Kenneth and Kevin Clement. He's always taken such good care of me. We just finished it last weekend.
Oh, very cool.
And now I'm on my way to Michigan, and then on my way to where am I going? Philadelphia, and then on my way to Cleveland, Ohio, and on to where am I going? I'm going to Kansas City, Missouri to see Wade Williams, my dear friend, and then I'll never make it home for Thanksgiving. So I guess I'm going to be in Kenton, Ohio at my great-grandfather's farm in Kenton, Ohio.
Keeping busy, that's for sure.
I know. Well, I love it. Once I have one convention in the East, then we try to, get some other ones. So it's a long trip from Los Angeles, and we drive.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. We left here. God, I don't even know what date we left. I think it was about the 18th of October we left.
Nothing like a good old-fashioned road trip.
About the 1st of December.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, kind of sucks to be on the road so long, but at least you're doing something you enjoy. Exactly.
I love it. The country is big and beautiful, and you miss it. I love a train, but boy, driving is something else. I don't like flying. I couldn't take all this paraphernalia on an airplane. And so this is the 4th time I've been east this year. 3 times by car, once by train.
Oh, wow.
Yes, my granddaughter just entered Annapolis, the Naval Academy, and we were...
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much. So we came back very proud grandparents.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for your time, Miss Robinson. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure. God bless you for coming over.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so for Batyard Productions, I'm Conor.
And I'm Ann Robinson.
Thank you very much. See you guys at the next one. Welcome back to Batyard Productions. I'm Conor, and I am here with Jeff Scholtz of Archie Comics. Jeff, thank you so much for your time. How are you today?
I'm good.
All right, great. Now, how many times have you been to Albany area Comic-Cons, specifically this one, the Toy and Comic-Con?
I think this is my 3rd time.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Do you have any favorite or least favorite con experiences that happened to you over time?
Well, I really like this one. It's like 2.5 hours from my house. I think I kind of like the smaller shows, not like the Baltimore, the Boston. Not that they're good, but I just like it better.
Yeah, I totally agree. We were actually just having a conversation about that earlier on. Much easier to talk to people, a little more low-pressure environment. Don't have to wait in many lines. It is nice, and it's good to see a lot of local flavors. Speaking of, Archie, kind of a local flavor for New York. Some very popular comics being made into the show Riverdale right now. You've been with. How long have you been a writer for Archie Comics?
Well, I don't write. I'm one of the artists. I've been with them for 28 years, and I used to draw the Betty and Veronica book, but now there isn't a Betty and Veronica book. But I'm still with them, and I'm doing digest stories for the digest now.
How does it feel to see these characters that you've been working on for 20 plus years come to life on the big screen in live action actor portrayals?
Well, it's kind of neat, but it's like it's not really them. I mean, it's not. It's not. Different tone. Yeah, it's not really them at all.
It's funny. I was just having this same conversation with the lovely Miss Ann Robinson over there, when we were talking about the difference between the 1953 War of the Worlds and the 2005 version. It sort of got a little dark, a little grittier. It just seems to be what people are after these days. Yeah. I'm also looking here, and I see Calvin and Hobbes in your portfolio. Calvin and Hobbes, one of my all-time favorite comics. I grew up on that stuff. So many just wonderful adventures in there. Can you talk to me a little bit about Calvin and Hobbes? What are the highs and lows of working with them?
Well, this is something I just do for the conventions, because we have the books at home, and I used to read it to my son when he was little. We would always lay in bed and read these, and I thought, well, Calvin's really popular, so I think I'll just do it for the convention, and it is popular.
There you go. It certainly got my attention. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jeff. It's been an absolute pleasure. Do you have any social media or upcoming projects that you might want to shout out?
Well, I'm on Facebook, and the newest thing is this is Jetta. It'll be on Indiegogo either this month or next month. So I'm doing some stories for it.
All right, Jetta Ray on Indiegogo.com from the makers of Archie. Going to keep my eyes open for that one. Thank you again for your time, sir. It's been wonderful. From Batyard Productions, I'm Conor, signing off.
Thank you.